Welcome to Maxwell's Entrepreneurial Moment. Having run an engineering company now for over 30 years, I want to share a few things I've learned along the way with you. I've been asked to talk about how to manage your funds. The overarching question that you want to ask is, if you are not there, how would you want things to be run? You want to establish mechanisms that will not allow one individual to ever pilfer significant amounts of money from the company without colluding with others. At the same time, you want to understand the de minimis and materiality of expenditures. Be careful not to hop over dollars to pick up pennies. You have fraud pinch points that you want to watch out for. They are purchasing, credit card use, expense reports, bank transfers, and any complex transaction. Now, I'm going to give you 8 great ways to manage your funds. Number 1, establish mechanisms for compensation at all levels. Ensure that you have at least 2 people approving all compensation, and any changes and any alterations to compensation should always be established in advance. Number 2, establish authorization limits for individuals committing the company at various levels within the organization. As commitment amounts increase, the number of those needing to authorize anything should increase. Along with that, number 3, establish expenditure authorization limits, so that each person, each title has a limit to what they can authorize until they must go to others for additional authorizations. Number 3, I covered number 3 already. Let's go to number 4. Establish accounting checks and balances, reviews, and internal audits. You must have bank reconciliation done by someone other than those authorizing the checks and those signing the checks. This is critical. You want to have checks signed or authorizations above certain levels, always requiring at least 2 people. And any movement of money, unless it's automatic in a sweep account, should require at least 2 authorizations. Number 5, establish purchase order procedures and adhere to those procedures. Do not allow them to be circumvented. You could establish project or overhead or operations or sales procedures for those purchase orders. They could be different, but once established, follow them arduously. Number 6, establish budgets, either generally or specifically. If you decide to do specific budgets, that can either be enabling and ennobling or very hindering. So be careful with budgets, and understand that budgets may need to be adjusted regularly. So it might be well to establish general budgets initially. Number 7, establish expense report methods and practices. You want policies about receipts, about what is reimbursed, about who can pick up the tab, and who can approve the expense reports. Above certain amounts, you should always, again, have 2. Establish, number 8, establish credit policy and credit card policies. Now, if you do those things, you'll do great. Remember, spend less than you bring in. Things always tend to cost more than you thought they would. Know your financial position regularly and often. Cash is king. Always set aside cash for emergencies and have cash on hand wherever possible. If you're rolling in the dough, establish investment criteria that requires authorizations and various people to approve. If you're tight, ask your team to help save where possible. Push through the hard times, and in the abundant times, be careful, and you'll do great. Congratulations. Good luck.